Yes. Good morning, students. Welcome to Zoology webinars of Model Schools for Senior Inter. Students, these days we are hearing about the news of new strain of COVID. Did you observe the newspaper? Yes, it is about COVID-20, isn't it? So during this pandemic, we heard of COVID-19 and we are ready even for the vaccination, isn't it? But now we are hearing about COVID-2, 20 or 20 or 20, isn't it? So what is the difference between COVID-19 and COVID-20? Do you all know? Yes, when we analyze the news readers talk about this, they tell about variant, isn't it? So what is this variant? Variant or mutant variety, isn't it? So is this mutants or variants happen only in viruses? Do you know the virus genetic nature, genetic material? It is about the RNA. So now let us forget about this virus. Let us talk about the human physiology and anatomy of our own chapter. Okay. In that, we are learning about the genetics, isn't it? So what material we have? We have DNA, isn't it? So if viruses can change their, because of the mutations, if they can change their genetic material, will it happen in humans or not? If it happens, what happens in humans? So let us learn today about all those things. Okay, so we have with us Chandrika madam. She's from Ramayampet and Medak districts. Today, let us learn about the genetic disorders and chromosomal disorders. Okay, we welcome you, madam. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, please take over the session.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, children. Welcome to the session. In the previous sessions, we have been dealing about different types of genetic disorders, right? Sex determination, male heterogamety, female heterogamety, what are the reasons behind it, what is the set of chromosomes present in it. Today, we are going to deal about the topic genetic disorders and pedigree analysis. Right, children? Right. Now, every child is an apple of the eye of the mother, right? But when the child is born, the child looks differently, right? When he grows up, when he or she grows up, they look different, not like a normal children. They behave differently. They are very slow learners. Their IQ is very low. Is it because of any bad consequences made by the parents, children? This is the usual belief by us. Bad karma. No, children, nothing as such. This is because of the chromosomal aberrations happening during the cell division during the meiosis, right? So never discriminate these type of children because these children are very loved, very taken care of, and very precious because these are special children with special needs. So let's see. During sexual mode of reproduction, children, male and female, the male gametes are sperm, the female are ovum, right? During the process of fertilization, there is an exchange of the nuclei, that is chromosome, right? Mitosis, it happens in each and every cell, children. Meiosis, it happens in only the gametes. During the cell reproduction or cell differentiation in the meiosis, some abnormalities take place during the division that causes the chromosomal aberrations. Children, we all know that we humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, right? Mother 23 pairs, father 23 pairs, mother 22 pairs of autosomes, father 22 pairs of autosomes, mother 1 pair of allosome, that is homogametic XX, father 1 pair of allogametic, that is XY. So half from the mother, half from the father. Autosomes, 22 pairs of autosomes from both the parents come, and allosome, right? Half. So these are the autosomes, children, autosomes, and these are the allosomes. These are the sex chromosome. If XY bind, it will be a baby boy. XX, it will be a baby girl. right? So this is the cell, children, this is the nucleus, and these are the chromosome, which have strands of DNA. You can see over, children, it is double helix wrapped coiled around each other. So let's see the overview, children. Today we are going to deal about genetic disorders and pedigree analysis, chromosomal disorders. Now, children, this is the cell, nucleus, chromosome. In the chromosome, we have double helix structure, double strand DNA, right, coiled to each other. So this is deoxyribonucleic acid. It is a molecule composed of two polypeptide chains, children, that coil around each other to form double helix carrying the genetic instructions. So this DNA helps in the development, function, growth, and reproduction of all organisms and many viruses. Right, children? Reproduction, meiosis, as I told you, right? So DNA and the ribonucleic acid, RNA, are the nucleic acids. Now, DNA is made up of molecules called as nucleotides. Children, nucleotide, three, you should remember three. One phosphate group, one sugar, and one the nitrogen base. Sugar, phosphate, and the nitrogen base. Now, children, nitrogen base are of four types, right? Let's see this. So, DNA is made up of molecules called as nucleotides. Each nucleotide contains a phosphate group, a sugar group, and a nitrogen base. So, children, the nitrogen base is again four types, that is adenine, thymine, guanine, and the cytosine. So, the order of the bases is what you and I are being derived, that genetic code. So, my genetic code and your genetic code is slightly different, 0.1%. 99% we are similar. So we'll learn about it later, children. So let's see the structure. You can see over here, this is the sugar phosphate backbone, and these are the bases, right? Adenine, cytosine, thymine, guanine. I repeat, children, DNA is made up of molecules of nucleotides, a sugar group, a phosphate group, and the nitrogen base, right? So the nucleotides are joined to one another in a chain called as covalent bond, called as phosphodiester linkage between, children, between the sugar of one nucleotide and the phosphate of the next. So this is called as sugar phosphate backbone, right? So children, this you can clearly see over here, this is the phosphate group, this is the sugar group, and this is the nitrogen base. As I told you, children, there are four types of nitrogen base pairs: adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine, right? Now, the nitrogen bases are of two types, separated by two separate polynucleotide strands, which are bound together, children. A with T, C with G. Remember, children, at CG, adenine with thymine, cytosine with guanine, with hydrogen bonds to make the double-stranded DNA. So these are purines, this is pyrimidine. Purines, children, adenine, guanine, pyrimidine, cytosine, thymine. In RNA, it is uracil. So the complementary nitrogenous bases are divided into pyrimidines and purines. In DNA, the pyrimidines are thymine, cytosine. The purines are adenine and guanine. Children, in RNA, it is uracil, right? So this is again the basic structure, children. This is DNA, this is RNA. As I told you, children, we have four nitrogen base pairs: cytosine, guanine, adenine, thymine. The same way in the RNA, slightly different, that is uracil, right? The same cytosine, guanine, adenine. The thymine is replaced by the uracil in the RNA. The same, children, the same nucleotide, the sugar group, the phosphate group, which form the phosphodiester linkage, right? And the nitrogen base pairs. So, genetic disorders. A genetic disorder or a disease or a syndrome is caused by abnormality in an individual's DNA, children. In the individual's DNA, we have base pairs to children. So, these base pairs, when they alter or when they change, when the mutation occur, mutation, a small change in the group, children, it has to be placed over here. A sequence is there. When the sequence is disturbed, it causes the mutation. So, let's see the types of genetic disorders. What are the causes, children? It is the abnormality in an individual's DNA. I repeat, it's an abnormality in the individual's DNA. So, the first reason is small mutation in a single gene. In a single gene, a very small mutation causes the genetic disorders. Next, addition or subtraction of an entire chromosome. or a set of chromosomes. Children, we know that we have set, pair, right? 1, 2. A set of chromosome may be missing, or addition or deletion. Children, 2. Addition means 3, deletion means 1. Right, children? Right. Very good. So the occurrence of genetic disorder is based on the heritability of certain characteristics features in the families also. So this is the starting sequence, children. These are the base pairs, right? So let's see the type of mutation and effect on the basic sequence. So on transition, purine for purine, pyrimidine for pyrimidine, transversion, purine for pyrimidine, pyrimidine for purine. Deletion, you can see children, a deletion happening over here. Insertion, there is an addition to a normal DNA. So these are the abnormalities of the DNA which are causing the genetic disorders, children. So pedigree analysis. To study the inheritance of a specific trait of an abnormality of a disease, a pedigree chart is being drawn, children, to see the record of inheritance from where did the gene is actually carried out in the group. So by the ancestral generations is called as a family tree or a pedigree tree, pedigree analysis. So it is useful, children, it is useful to work out the possible genotypes from the knowledge of respective phenotypes. Phenotype morphologically, which can be seen. Genotype, children, we have learned in the previous session, dominant, recessive. Dominant is always expressed, recessive is suppressed, right? So when an allele has to express itself, sometimes it has to be recessive. Two recessive things only will come out. So let's see that. So it helps to study the pattern of inheritance of a dominant or a recessive trait. So children, this is the rectangular box called as male, round, female, the rhombus, sex unspecified. So the dark red lines are affected individuals. So male and female mating between the relatives, children. Between the relatives means cousins, right? So this is the mating and these are the children, progeny, right, children? When the parents meet and the child is affected. So this is the male child which is affected, right, children? So this is the possible genetic makeup of a person for a trait can also be known with the help of a pedigree chart. So this is the gene, children, we have discussed in the first class, right? Gene have two arms, P arm, Q arm. P arm is anterior, Q arm is posterior. P arm is slightly shorter than the Q arm. So this is the unit of heredity. As I told you, children, a small mutation in the gene or addition or deletion in the gene or a complete set of chromosomes are missing. So this causes the genetic disorders. So the genetic disorders, a number of disorders in human beings have been found to be associated with the inheritance of changed or altered genes or chromosomes. So children classified into two categories, that is Mendelian disorders, chromosomal disorders. So the Mendelian disorders, monogenic diseases. Children, we have seen in the first chapter, that is Mendelian Mendelian. So they showed three patterns of inheritance, right, children? Law of segregation, law of inheritance, law of independent assortment. So let's see. So these are genetic diseases showing Mendelian pattern of inheritance causing by a single mutation in the structure of DNA, which causes a single basic defect with pathological consequences. So usually, children, these monogenic diseases runs in the families which can be dominant, recessive, autosomal or sex-linked, that is allosomal. So Mendelian disorders are hemophilia, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, color blindness, phenylketonuria, thalassemia, Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and the albinism. So the first disorder is hemophilia. Children, when a blood vessel is injured, right, or damaged, usually we have the bleeding. After some time, the bleeding usually stops and the blood clots. This is in the normal human being, normal person, right? These are the steps: injury or damage to the blood vessels. The factors are activated. We will see in this chapter, children, what are the factors. So the vessel contracts, platelet plug is formed, and the fibrin is clotted. Let's see what are the mechanisms. So when the blood vessel is damaged, children, the platelets release the enzyme called as prothrombin. So this prothrombin will activate the thrombin factor. Now this thrombin factor will activate the fibrinogen to fibrin. So this fibrin will form a mesh-like structures, children, a mesh-like structures. We can see over here very clearly. So this will clot the blood, right? This is about the normal blood clotting. In hemophilia, so when a person with hemophilia is injured, bleeding is prolonged because of the firm clot is slow to form. As I told you, children, this is the normal blood vessel, hemorrhage and the clotting occurs. When does the clotting occur, children? The platelets will release the prothrombin enzyme. Right, children, we have seen in this. Prothrombin will activate the thrombin. Now the thrombin will activate the fibrinogen to fibrin, forming a fine thread-like structures. Right? So this happens in a healthy person. So in a hemophilic person, so it is inability to clot and the blood do not clot. In some cases, there is profuse bleeding and the person is dead. So this is because of the X-linked recessive disease are mostly restricted to the males which carry the mutant allele. Children, we all know the females carry the 2 X chromosomes, male will carry 1 X and 1 Y. Right, children? So if it has to be expressed in the females, both the X chromosomes have to be the recessive one. In the male, one recessive X chromosome is enough to be affected, right? So this is because male have only one X chromosome, which is heterozygous recessive. That is, this is the recessive allele, which is only one is needed to be affected, children. Now, in females, as I told you, we do have 2 X chromosomes. To be affected, we need both the alleles to be recessive. So, who carry a single mutant allele are generally unaffected. Now, children, this is the mutant allele, which is a recessive one, which is single. So the female will be carrier, right? She will not be affected, but she will be the carrier. So the affected males get the allele from their mothers. If the female is homozygous affected, all her sons are affected. So the hemophilia is of 3 types, children. Hemophilia A, B and C. Let's see each and every type. Hemophilia A is a recessive X-linked genetic disorder involving a lack of function clotting factor 8 and accounts about 80% of hemophilia cases are hemophilia A, children. So hemophilia B, it is called as Christmas disease because Stephen Christmas was the first person to be diagnosed with this condition, children. So this is also recessive X-linked genetic disorder involving the lack of functional clotting factor, that is 9. Children, factor 8 in hemophilia A, factor 9 in hemophilia B, right? So the factor 9 gene is located on the X chromosome of the Q arm. So this is the chromosome which is carrying this sort of gene which is causing the hemophilia B. So children, this is affected father which is carrying the mutant allele. Unaffected mother, she do not carry any alleles in her. She is a normal mother with 2 normal genes. Now children, you can see unaffected daughter, but she is the carrier. Unaffected son. Why is that? Because the daughter is carrying one of the X chromosome from the father, one of the X chromosome from the mother. So the X chromosome which is being brought from the father is the mutant allele. That's the reason she is the unaffected, but she is the carrier of this disease. So when the girl grew up and she gets married to an unaffected father, but she is having the affected gene, which is mutant gene, but she is carrier, children. I repeat myself, she is the carrier. She is unaffected. Now this gene is being bought by her father. Right, children? Now, let's see the progeny. So, unaffected father is normal male who do not carry any mutant allele. But here, children, her mother is carrying the mutant allele. Right? So, the pedigree are unaffected daughter, unaffected son, unaffected daughter, but she is the carrier because she is carrying the mutant allele from her mother. This is the affected son because the son is carrying one recessive mutant allele from the mother. So, children, you can see over here, children, crisscross inheritance. Affected father, carrier daughter, and 50% of the grandsons are the affector. So, this is the crisscross inheritance. right? So the mutant allele is present in the affected father, which is passed to the daughter, and she is the carrier. When the carrier mother is having the mutant allele, 50% of our sons are affected. 50% are unaffected, 50% of the daughters are carriers, and other 50% are unaffected, right? So hemophilia C, it is called as Bleeder's disease. It is an autosomal recessive disorder. Children, hemophilia A and hemophilia B are X-linked recessive. Now, hemophilia C is an autosomal recessive disorder involving the lack of the functioning clotting factor, factor 11. Now, the gene encoding the factor 11 is located on the P arm of the fourth chromosome. P arm of the fourth chromosome, the factor number 11 is present. Now, upon the deletion of this fourth chromosome, the encoding of the gene do not take place. So the factor 11 is not formed. So it occurs, the bleeder's disease occurs, that is hemophilia C. I repeat children, hemophilia A, hemophilia B are X-linked recessive disorders. Hemophilia C is autosomal recessive disorder, right? So you can see over children, autosomal recessive inheritance pattern. Dad is the carrier, mom is the carrier, right? This is the mutant allele. This is the mutant allele. Normal gene. Now, the child does not have any condition nor a carrier. Now, the children do not have a condition, but they are carriers. Now, the child has this condition. So, this is about the autosomal recessive inheritance pattern. So 75% of the children do not have this condition, only 25% have this condition. Right, children, it is very rare disease also, hemophilia C. So, family pedigree of Queen Victoria family. Children, Queen Victoria was the carrier of this disease. Now she had 3 daughters and 1 son. One of her daughter was unaffected. 2 daughters were the carriers and the son was the affected. Right, children? So, when the normal daughter married a normal person, normal boy was born. When the carrier daughter married a normal person, you can see over your children, 2 daughters were the carriers and the son was the affected. Now, let's turn up to the son. When the son who is affected married the normal female, his daughter was carrier, right? Then the last daughter, when she married to a normal male, 2 of her sons were affected and 1 daughter was the carrier. So the red color, you can see children, these are the affectors. You can see children, usually the males are affected, the females are the carriers, right? So this is the family pedigree of Queen Victoria family children. So, sickle cell anemia. Children, we know in the blood we do have RBCs, red blood cells. So, these red blood cells have hemoglobin, right? Hemoglobin carries the oxygen to all parts of our body, to tissues, specifically for the aerobic respiration. Right, children? In this case, in this sickle cell anemia case, the round shape structures are turned to be half moon shaped structures. The RBCs are turned to be sickle shape, sickle cell. So this is sickle cell anemia. Let's see what is this. It is an autosomal recessive genetic disorder characterized by red blood cells that assumes rigid sickle shaped. So the sickle cells may clump, clog, small blood vessels often lead to other symptoms. Clumping means children, clumping. Clogging means children, it will restrict the flow of the blood. Clumping, to clump, clog, it will restrict the flow of the blood. Right, children? So, these are the side effects: physical weakness, the body pains, the organ damage, sometimes the paralysis also occur. So, disease is controlled by a single pair of alleles, HBA and HBS, found on the chromosome number 11. So, homozygous individual for sickle cell anemia are HBS and HBS express the diseased phenotype. Right, children? So, heterozygous individuals appear unaffected, but they are still carriers of the disease. So, HBS is the mutant allele over here, children. HBS. This is homozygous. This is heterozygous. Heterozygous individuals are usually unaffected, but they are the carriers of this disease. Right, children? So this is the normal red blood cells which have normal hemoglobin, which carries the oxygen, right? So these are the sickle cell children. So you can see over here, these are forming the clot. So they are restricting the blood flow. So the abnormal hemoglobin forms strands that causes the sickle cell. So this sickle cell do not carry the oxygen. So there won't be any aerobic respiration. There won't be any energy in us. So heterozygous individual children, this is the mutant allele as I told you, usually lead a healthy life. But in a prolonged periods of reduced oxygen in the content, they may suffer from the symptoms because they have normal red blood cells and the sickle cell anemia, red blood cell. You can see over here children, they have normal blood cell and sickle blood cell. What happens children if the 50% of them have RBC, normal RBC, 50% have the sickle cell. So the 50% of RBCs only carry the oxygen, other 50% of sickle cell do not carry. So this will have the reduced oxygen content in the body, right? So these heterozygous individuals are relatively resistant to the falciparum malaria, an effect called as heterozygous advantage. So you can see children signatory stage formed in the RBCs. We have seen in the first year, right? Plasmodium vivax. So this is type of malaria, falciparum malaria. So this is not affected in this type of individuals, children. So this is the advantage of them, right? These heterozygous individuals carry the deleterious genes in their genome. So you can see children, this is the normal hemoglobin, this is the sickle cell hemoglobin. Children, you can see over here, there is a point mutation in the DNA that codes the beta globulin, right? Normally it should be the glutamic acid, but the glutamic acid is replaced by the valine. So this causes the sickle cell anemia, right? So the next disorder is phenylketonuria. So this is metabolism disorder, children. Metabolism disorder. It is again autosomal recessive disease. It's a rare inherited disorder that causes an amino acid called as phenylalanine to build up in the body. Phenylketonuria is caused by a defect in the gene that helps to create the enzyme needed to break down the phenylalanine. So the unaffected carrier mother R, unaffected carrier father, capital R and the small r. You can see children, this is the dominant, one dominant, one recessive, one dominant, one recessive, two recessive. So this is autosomal recessive disorder. So abnormal metabolism of phenylalanine. So this happens in the chromosome number 12, children. So phenylalanine hydrolyse encoding gene is mutated over here. So there is no production of phenylalanine hydrolase enzyme. So what happens over here? Let's see. So this is the phenylalanine, children. So due to the defect in the chromosome 12, the coding of the gene do not takes place. So there is no production of phenylalanine hydrolase enzyme. So this phenyl hydrolase enzyme will hydrolyze phenylalanine into tyrosine, and the next steps will be proceeded. But there is no phenylalanine hydrolase enzyme. So the phenylalanine will turn to the phenylpyruvic acid. This phenylpyruvic acid will cause the metabolism disorder. How? This phenylpyruvic acid accumulates in the blood and circulates throughout the body. When it does go to the brain has a sheet called as a fluid called as cerebrospinal fluid. Right, children? So this accumulates in the cerebrospinal fluid and the mental retardation takes place. Right? So these are the effects. So when the accumulation of phenylpyruvic acid takes place, there is an accumulation of phenylpyruvic acid in the cerebrospinal fluid. So the mental retardation takes place, the graying of hair and the albinism takes place. So next disorder is children color blindness. They are not completely blind children. They do have color blindness. They cannot distinguish between colors, right? So children, as we know, in the eye we have retina. In the retina we have photosensitive cells, rods and cones. Photo, light, sensitive. They will sense the light and they'll give out the best vision. So the rods detect the light in the dim night. Cones will detect the colors, right, children? So these are the rods and these are the cones, children. You can see over here, this is the pigment epithelium, myelin granules, this is the connecting stalks. These are the rods and this is the cone, right children? So the cone distinguishes the colors. So this phenotypic trait, that is color blindness, is genetically controlled alleles located on the X chromosome. So types of color blindness children: protanopia, heteranopia and heteronopia. This is the normal color vision children. This is mauve. You can see the blue, green, yellow, mustard, red, pink. This is magenta and this is baby pink. So normally we can see the colors. In the color blindness people, they can't see the green. This is deuteranopia. Blue blindness, titanopia. Red blindness, protanopia. So these are the three types of red, green and blue blindness. So the son of a woman who carries one allele has a 50% chance being colorblind. So the mother herself is not colorblind children because the allele is recessive, right? That means its effect is suppressed by her matching dominant allele. As I told you children, dominant, recessive. Dominant will suppress the recessive characters and it will show off the dominant ones. Now, in the males, one of the X chromosome is enough. The recessive chromosome is enough to affect, right children? So, the X-linked recessive traits are typically passed on from an affected father to 50% of his grandsons through the carrier daughter. The same way children crisscross inheritance. Guys, this is the Ishihara color test. This test consists of series of pictures of colored spots is often used to diagnose red-green color blindness. So this is the chart which they will produce to the colorblind people children. So they will ask about the color. So the colorblind people cannot distinguish between the red and green. So this is the test they can diagnose, right? Next disorder is thalassemia. It is an autosomal linked recessive blood disorder, children. Blood disorder caused by excessive destruction or degradation of red blood cells due to the formation of abnormal hemoglobin molecules due to the defects in mutation. Normally, the red blood cells are produced, right? They live up to 120 days. But if there is excessive destruction and degradation of the RBCs, due to which the abnormal hemoglobin molecules are formed. So this is caused due to the defects of the mutations. So children, the thalassemia are classified into two types: alpha thalassemia, beta thalassemia, right? Let's see the normal hemoglobin structure, right children? It has 4 polypeptide chain, 2 alpha chain, 2 beta chain, right children? 2 alpha chain, 2 beta chain. This is the heme part and this is the globin, right children? So the alpha thalassemia, the production of alpha globin chain is affected. So the alpha thalassemia is controlled by two closely linked genes HBA1, HBA2 on the chromosome 16 on each parent children. Each parent, as I told you, we do share the chromosomes half from our father, half from our mother. So this alpha thalassemia is controlled by two closely linked genes, that is HBA1, HBA2 on the chromosome number 16 of each parent, right? So remember children, this is from each parent. So it is caused due to the deletion of one or more of the 4 alpha gene alleles. So the more genes affected, the less alpha globulin molecules are produced, the more severe is the case. So usually children, it has 4 polypeptide chains, right? 2 alpha, 2 beta. Now 2 alpha chains have to be produced, but this affects the genes. The mutant alleles will not express. So the alpha genes are not produced. The alpha globulin chains are not produced. Usually more or the less, the more is the severity of the case. So you can see children, the 4 functional alpha genes. Silent alpha thalassemia, 3 functional alpha genes. So alpha thalassemia trait, homozygous, right? This is heterozygous. Homozygous, heterozygous, 2 functional genes. Usually how many genes we do need children? 4 functional genes. So this is no functional genes, which is very lethal. As I told you children, the more is the alpha chain reduction, the more is the severity of the disease, right? So next is beta thalassemia. So the production of beta globulin is affected. So the beta thalassemia is controlled by a single gene, HBB, on the chromosome number 11. So the alpha chain, which is relatively more in number, bind to RBC and damage the RBC. Children, we need the alpha chain and the beta chain. If any of them are too reduced, so this props, that is thalassemia, right? Two alpha chains must be there, two beta chains must be there. If more than two alpha chains are there, it causes the severity. Two beta chains are there, more than two beta chains, it causes the severity, right, children? So the alpha chain, which are relatively more in number, bind to the RBC, and the damage of the membranes of the RBC takes place. So this is the most common type of thalassemia, children. So let's see over here, beta globulin gene cluster chromosome 11, alpha globulin gene structure chromosome number 16, right, children? So normal hemoglobin, oxygen is bound. Hemoglobin without oxygen. So this is sickle form children. So there is no oxygen bonding, right? So next type is albinism. Children, normally the people are dark and fair. The darkness or fairness depends on the production of melanin. As I told you in the previous class, melanin, it is a pigment which will tell about the complexion, right? So there is albinism, a complete absence of the melanin pigment happens, and the children will be not fair actually. They do have different hair structure, their eyelids are different, and the pigmentation is also different. This is albinism. So the genetic inheritance of albinism: unaffected carrier mother, unaffected carrier father. Now unaffected son, carrier daughter, carrier son, and albinous daughter. So the recessive gene causing the albinism require inheritance from both the parents. From both the parents, the inheritance have been brought over here, and the child is albinism. If one of the parents have this mutant allele, the other parent do not have, these are the carriers, right? So this is the back and forth movement of the eyes. There will be constantly moving their eyelids, children. It is because of the lack of pigment in the iris and the retina, which are contributing factors to reduced vision, although in the lesser degree. So this ocular albinism occurs more frequently in males as they have single X and Y chromosome, unlike females whose genetics are characterized by two X chromosome. So next disorder is children cystic fibrosis. This is also autosomal recessive genetic disorder, children. So this results in a mutation affecting the gene chromosome number 7. This is short arm, long arm, children. Short arm is P arm, long arm is Q arm. So the long arm is affected on the chromosome number 7. So children, when this long arm is affected, so the influence of salt water movements across the cell membranes is affected. So the salt and water movements must be very constant to maintain the hemostasis. Right, children? If any slight difference happens, there will be the diseases. So the genetic defects caused increased sodium and chloride content in the salt and increased reabsorption of sodium and water from the respiratory epithelium. Reabsorption. Children, please focus over here. Reabsorption of sodium and water from the respiratory epithelium. So the extracellular chloride causes the mucus that coats the cells to become more viscous and sticky. Children, usually the respiratory tract have to be moist, not with mucus. If mucus is present, that is, if mucus is present, there is no exchange of gases, right? There is an obstruction over here, right? So the mucus clogs builds up in the organisms such as lungs, pancreas, gastrointestinal tract, leads to further complications and may even lead to death if left untreated. Children, if mucus accumulates in the nose during cold, when we are suffering from cold, when mucus accumulates in our nose, what happens? We cannot breathe, right? We will breathe with the help of our mouth because the mucus is being clogged over here. This is the simple thing, right? When the mucus is clogged in the respiratory epithelium, children, just imagine there is no exchange of gases, right? In the alveoli, exchange of oxygen, then exchange of carbon dioxide takes place in the alveolus, gases exchange takes place. So this will disrupt because of the mucus that sticks to the epithelium, right? So you can see over here, children, the cross section of the normal airway. It is moist, right? So the normal CFTR channel, right, children? The inside cell, the outside cell, the chloride cells and the water cells will be moving freely. Now, in the cross section of airway with cystic fibrosis, you can see thick mucus is formed. Right, children? So thick mucus is formed. It will obstruct the passing of the chloride ions. Right, children? So again, this is the normal CFTR. So CFTR with the mutation. This is the mucus clearance. The mucus clearance is not done. The mucus layer is formed. A thick coat of mucus layer is formed. Right? So obstructing the chloride ions to pass. Right, children? The apical surface. So you can see over here the thick sticky mucus blocks the airway. So this is the CFTR mutant gene present on the long arm of the chromosome number 7. What are the side effects, children? So thick sticky mucus blocks the pancreatic and the bile ducts. We know, children, bile juice, emulsification of fats do not take place. Right, children? Pancreas production, that is breaking down of proteins, do not take place. So these are the side effects. So the nose, polyps, growth, salty sweat. As I told you, children, there is no exchange of water and the salt content right in the epithelium. So frequent lung infection, enlarged heart, gallstones are formed, abnormal pancreas function, trouble digesting food. Obviously, children, if there is no bile juice, the emulsification of fat do not take place, the breakdown of proteins do not take place, right? So the fatty bowel movements occurs over here because the bile juice will break down the fat molecules into tiny lipids. Right, children? We have seen in the digestion. Now, if there is no bile juice, no pancreatic juice, there is no degradation of proteins and fats, obviously the bowel movements are with the fatty bowel movements, right? So trouble digesting food. If there is no proper digestion of food, there won't be any energy. So the next is Duchenne muscular dystrophy, children. DMD is a recessive X-linked disorder caused by the mutation in the dystrophin gene. Children, dystrophin gene is the largest known gene in humans. It is located in the X chromosome, which codes for the protein dystrophin. Right, children? So this dystrophin is a protein, important structural component within muscle tissue, connects sarcolemma and outer muscle filaments, and supports the muscular fiber strength. Children, we have seen in the muscular system, we have bands, right, children? When we move our hand, contraction, relaxation of the muscles are taking place, right, children? So this dystrophin protein it connects the sarcolemma and the muscle. So this is the dystrophin gene, children. So in the absence of this dystrophin gene, so there is no bounding of the sarcolemma and the muscle fiber. There won't be any movement. Let's see the structure of the muscle, children. This is the muscle fiber. This is the sarcolemma. This is the myofibril, children. Blood artery, endomysium. These are the blood vessels. Right, children? Epimysium and perimysium. Now, children, so this is the dystrophin gene, which is connecting the sarcolemma and the muscle fiber, right, for the contraction and relaxation. If there is no dystrophin gene, there is no bounding of muscle fiber and the sarcolemma, so there won't be any activity by the muscle, right? So the whole muscle, bundle of muscle fibers. So muscle fiber membrane, children, these are the protein, and this is the dystrophin, which is connecting, again I repeat, to the sarcolemma and the muscle fiber. So it affects 1 in 3,600 boys. So the disease is characterized by progressive weakening of the muscles and loss of coordination. Children, but to coordination, we do need the muscles to contract and relax to perform our daily work. So if there is no dystrophin gene, so there is no attachment of the sarcolemma and the muscle fiber. So obviously, children, the weakening of the muscle takes place and there is lack of coordination takes place, right, children? So the affected individual rarely live past their early 20s as they do not possess this protein dystrophin. Children, you can see X-linked recessive inheritance, unaffected father and the carrier mother. Right, children? Carrier mother. Now, unaffected son, unaffected daughter, carrier daughter, affected son. So the mutant allele is present in the X-linked recessive inheritance. Right? So, children, till now we have seen the genetic disorders. Now let's see the chromosomal disorders. We know, children, we do have 23 pairs of chromosomes. I repeat myself, we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. right? Autosomes and allosomes. So these are caused in the error in the number or structure of chromosome. So the chromosomal anomalies usually occurs when there is error in the cell division. Children, during the meiosis, the exchange of nuclei takes place between the mother and the father, right children? Half the chromosomes from the mother, half the chromosomes from the father. These are the autosomes. Allosomes, one sex chromosome from the mother, one sex chromosome from the father. This is how the sex is determined. So the chromosomal disorders are errors in the number or structure. I repeat, error in the number or structure. Children, this is 1, 2, 3. These 1, 2, 3. Set 2. Set 2. If we delete one of the chromosome, it is 1. Set 2. If we add 3. So monosomy, trisomy. Set monosomy, set trisomy. Let's see, children. So syngamy 2n, normal gamete n. Zygote, aneuploid karyotypes 2n plus 1, 2n minus 1. So this is normal genome, children. This is polyploidy. You can see many number of genomes are present. Aneuploidy 2n plus 1. Amplification disturbed in the insertions. Amplification enlargement of the chromosome. Amplification in double minutes, children. Now reciprocal translocation, non-reciprocal translocation. This is the loss. These are all things which we will study here, children. Let's see. So the aneuploidy is a chromosomal aberration where there is a gain or loss of one or more chromosome in a set. As I told you, children, in a set, right? So gain or loss. Gain means children 3, loss means children 1. So it is caused by non-disjunction of chromosome causing deviation from the normal number of chromosome. These are the normal number of chromosome, children. These are the microtubules. Now, instead of separating, there is a non-disjunction happening over here. So there is loss of the chromosome here, and here it is double. So this is about the chromosomal aberrations. So chromosomal disorders, as I told you, children, these are the autosome. This is the allosome. There are two types: allosome disorders, autosome disorders. So gene, children, this is the P arm, Q arm. P arm is short, Q arm is long. P arm is anterior, Q arm is posterior. So the allosomal disorders, Klinefelter syndrome, genetic disorders caused by trisomy, children tri. That means to a set of the chromosome, an addition chromosome is being added. Trisomy. So trisomy occurs in 23rd pair of males. Karyotype 47 XXY. Children, 46 is the normal thing. Now XXY, that is an addition to the set of chromosome. Tri, right children? Trisomy. So a Klinefelter male possesses an addition X chromosome along with the normal XY. So children, you can see over here, this is 2X chromosome and Y. Double X, Y. And this is the bar body in the male, XXY. So trisomy on the 23rd pair of chromosome. Right children? So this is hypogonadism and reduced fertility. That means the gonads are not developed. So fertility is reduced. Slight enlargement of breast, gynecomastia, and exhibit bar bodies in their nuclei. Right children? They have long arms and legs. So tendency to grow fewer chest hairs, normal shoulder, narrow shoulders, poor beard, frontal bandness absent, then small testicular size, female type pubic hair pattern is seen over here. So the next syndrome is Turner syndrome. Children, the genetic disorder caused by monosomy on the 23rd. Children, set mono. One of the chromosome is being deleted. Right, children? Mono. One. Right? Monosomy on the 23rd pair of chromosome. That means one X chromosome is lost. So the karyotype is 45X. So the Turner female do not show bar bodies in her somatic cells. You can see over here, children, one X chromosome is absent, right? So the symptoms are short stature, gonadal dysgenesis, webbed neck, broad shield-like chest with widely spaced nipples, elbow deformity, rudimentary ovaries, children, because the gonadals cannot develop. They cannot develop the ovum. So the folded skin, right? Constriction of aorta, shield-shaped thorax, widely shaped nipples, shortened metacarpal, that is The carpals are very short and small fingernails. Right, children? Brown spots are present. No menstruation because children, there are no proper structure and there no proper development in the ovaries, so no menstruation. So this is about the autosomal disorders, children. Now it is autosomal disorders. So most of the following disorders are common in children born to women who conceive babies rather late in their reproductive phases. Means children above 40, when they conceive, the women conceive, these are the abnormalities usually very rarely seen. So the first is Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome, Potato syndrome, Cri-du-Chat syndrome, chronic myelogenous leukemia. Right, children? So the first is Down syndrome, genetic condition that causes delay in physical and intellectual development. So it is the genetic disorder caused by additional copy of the chromosome 21. Try additional copy, children. Children, remember, set means 2. When additional copy means try. Set 2. When we delete one of the chromosome, it is 1, mono. Right? So the trisomy of 21st set. So the karyotype is trisomy of 21. This is the number of chromosomes, that is addition 47. This is the trisomy, that is chromosome number 21, children. Right? So you can see, children, over here, trisomy, additional chromosome is present over here. So what are the symptoms? Eye slants up, fissures, low set ears, low nasal bridge. Right, children? Abnormal and excessive facial fat distribution is present. You can see broad hands and short fingers. Delayed growth in brain results in reduced mental capacity, children. So they have enlarged tongue that sticks out of the mouth. So these are the symptoms of this disease, children. So Edwards syndrome. So the genetic disorder carried by the extra copy of the genetic material. Again, children, extra copy, 2, extra, trisomy. On which chromosome, children? It is on the 18th chromosome, right, children? So the karyotype is trisomy of 18, that is 47. Why is that I am mentioning 47 plus 18? 46 is our normal chromosome number, children. Now an extra chromosome is added over here, trisomy on the chromosome number 18. So 47 plus 18. So occurs in both males and females, but is more common in the female offspring. Right, children, you can see the 18th chromosome has one extra X chromosome. Trisomy. So the most common is the second most common trisomy, 80% female. So majority die before birth. They have low survival rate, children, because of the heart abnormalities, kidney malfunctions. So symptoms are they have small head, malformed ears, widely spaced eyes, and clenched hands. So these are the symptoms. Now next is Potato syndrome, children. Potato syndrome, genetic disorder is caused by having 3 copies of the genetic material on the 13th chromosome. Again, children, addition to the set of the chromosome. Which chromosome it is? 13. So the karyotype is trisomy of 13, 47 plus 13. They have severe intellectual disability and physical abnormalities in many parts of the body. So children, the 13th chromosome has the extra chromosome, that is trisomy 3, right? So children, this is microcephaly. Micro, small, cephaly means head. They do have small head. They have facial anomalies. Polydactyly. Children, pentadactylus. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fingers, right? They do have many fingers. That is addition of 1 finger. Right, children? So they have a single umbilical artery. They have club feet, and they have renal anomalies. That is kidney-based problems. The cardiac defects. So hypoplastic left heart, echogenic intracardiac focus. So these are the effects of this syndrome. So the next is Cri-du-Chat syndrome, children. The children which are affected with this type of, the babies which are affected with this type of children, disease, cry like cat, right? It is due to the partial deletion of the short arm of chromosome 5. Children, we know that chromosome has 2 arms, upper anterior P arm, lower posterior Q arm. P arm, Q arm. A partial deletion of the P arm, that is causing the Cri-du-Chat syndrome. It is also called as 5P monosomy, referred as 5P segmental deletion. Karyotypes, the same children, they have 46 pairs, but in the chromosome number 5, in the chromosome number 5, in the P arm of the chromosome number 5, there is deletion. The short arm is partial deletion. You can see over here, children, deleted region, right? So this is the normal chromosome number 5, children. This is the deleted, right? This is the partial deletion. This is more than half, children. So it occurs in 70%, 78% chromosomal cells. This occurs in the 22% chromosomal cells, children. So you can see over here, children. So the 5p segmental deletion is taking place, right? So the number is same, children, the 46, but the 5th chromosome P arm is partially deleted. So the symptoms are the same, children, the microcephaly, micro small head, cognitive impairment. They do have respiratory, circulatory, sensory and skeletal problems, malfunctioned ears, malformed ears, not properly formed ears, poor muscle tone, small birth weight. So next is chronic myelogenous leukemia, CML, also called as chronic granulocytic leukemia. Children, just see the karyotype. You can notice a small deletion over here and addition in the 9th chromosome. Please, children, please have this view. These are the autosomes. This is the allosome. Autosome, allosome. Now, children, this is about the 9th and 22nd chromosome. We can see abnormally grown 9th chromosome, abnormally shortened 22nd chromosome. What is happening here? Let's see. So the normal chromosome number 9, normal chromosome number 22. What happens over here, children? They break and they exchange places. That is reciprocal translocation. Location is changed. There is transfer of location. Reciprocal translocation. What is happening over here? The chromosome number 9 and the chromosome number 22 are breaking and they are exchanging the places, switching on the places, right? So the changed chromosome number 9, changed chromosome number 22. Now, children, you can see over here abnormally long chromosome number 9, abnormally shortened chromosome number 22. So the chromosome which is abnormally shortened 22 is called as Philadelphia chromosome, right? So a piece of chromosome number 9 and a piece of chromosome number 22 break off and switch places. That means they exchange places with each other, as I told you, reciprocal translocation. So this results in the formation of abnormally shortened 22nd chromosome, abnormally long chromosome number 9. So the short 22nd chromosome is called as Philadelphia chromosome, produced by the translocation, which is also called as Philadelphia translocation. So the karyotype is, children, same 46. The number is same, children, but there is a translocation in which chromosomes, children? Chromosome number 9, chromosome number 22. Abnormally long chromosome number 9, abnormally short chromosome number 22. So the abnormal short chromosome 22 is called as Philadelphia chromosome, right? 1 second. So the Philadelphia chromosome results in the production of abnormally enzyme called as tyrosine kinase. So the tyrosine kinase are that can transfer a phosphate group from ATP to tyrosine residues of specific proteins inside a cell. It functions as on and off switch in many cellular functions. Right, children? So this is the receptor tyrosine kinase. So what is this tyrosine kinase does? It leads to self-transduction, self-proliferation, differentiation, migration, metabolism, and programs cell death, children. So upon the overproduction of this tyrosine kinase, what happens? There is uncontrolled cell progression leading to the cancer. Children, what is cancer? Abnormally grown or disease or abnormal grown of cells is called as cancer. A normal cells grow. They will stop when they have to stop, because the growing cell has to grow to a certain extent. If they grow up to the reaching point, above the reaching point, those are called as the cancer cells, children. So the uncontrolled cell progression leading to cancer called as chronic myelogenous leukemia due to the abnormal production of the tyrosine kinase. So these are the symptoms, children. In the blast phase, more severe symptoms: recurrent infections, spontaneous bleeding, swollen glands, lumps on the skin. So what we have learned? We have learned about hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, phenylketonuria, color blindness, thalassemia, Klinefelter syndrome, Turner syndrome, Down syndrome, and Edwards syndrome, Patau syndrome, Cre-du-Chat syndrome, chronic myelogenous leukemia. Children, now we know what are the causes which are causing the abnormality in the children. Why these children are not normal like us? They are special because of the chromosomal aberrations happening in them, which can be hereditary, or the mutations which are occurring in their own cell, or through the inheritance of the parents. So never discriminate anyone. Those children are also equally loved, should be equally loved, taken care of. Right, children? I hope this session has enlightened you about the chromosomal and genetic disorders. So, improve your learning, children. There is one 8 marks question, which is write an essay on the common genetic disorders. Thank you. Ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. It was very elaborative and detailed lesson, children. Please make down and write notes in your running notes, which you all are maintaining for the webinar specially. Okay. See you with the new session, children. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Shailja ma'am. Thank you, Vijayalakshmi ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
మ్యామ్ నెక్స్ట్ సెషన్ 2:30 పెట్టుకుందామా మ్యామ్? మరి మీరు లంచ్ చేసి వస్తారా? మీది మ్యూట్ లో ఉంది మ్యామ్. ఛార్జింగ్ లేదు.
It's still recording. I'm just waiting.